The Tigers lose, the Indians lose, the Mud Hens lose. Isn't that just a typical day for you on All Andy Alford? But I love you guys and welcome into an all-new edition of All Andy Alford right here on ClayFan 2-3. I am your host, Andrew Alford, welcoming you into the program. I want to get into a couple things before I go into last night's action, of course. Yesterday, if you don't know, if you're born underneath a rock, by the way, there's a show on STO called All Bets Are Off. It stars Bruce Drennan, a former sports commentator and former Indians broadcast co-host, Joe Tate back in the 80s. He's been talking about LeBron, the piece of dirt. Well, I call him a piece of shit, because that's what really he is. And he's been getting a lot of hate mail for his comments and everything. I wanted to speak to Bruce right now. Bruce, I love you. You are probably one of the greatest sports broadcasters I've ever met and never talked to and never seen. I put you on a list of 3 guys: Ernie Harwell, Vin Scully, and yourself. You 3 guys are probably the nicest people the sport's ever seen of broadcasting. And to see people go after you and the show and the network is terrible. If you want to go after somebody, go after me. I'll be Jesus. I'll sacrifice myself. But it's just sad to see Bruce Drennan coming up on the show, the first thing on the show, saying that somebody called him a racist. He's not. He's not a racist. He is the nicest, greatest person, period, I have ever met. And to see him start the show off with all you people negative towards him, it just really pisses me off. You know what? This is not all Andy Alford. This is Andy Rants. You know, because we don't do Andy Rants that often. But this is an Andy Rant. We're rolling. We keep rolling. Honestly, do you really need to badger a man? I mean, the man's in his 60s. He's been there since he's been in Cleveland since 1973. And he's like, oh, well, if you took a job for ESPN with high pay money, you would go. Bullshit. Bruce Drennan tells it like it is. He doesn't hide behind a camera. He doesn't hide behind a stagehand. He faces you and me and gives us the sports. Gives us the news of the day. This guy should be commended for what he has done for the city of Cleveland, for the state of Ohio, and for the entire world. Because nobody should treat us that bad. Not a superstar that just puts a ball in a hoop. Any retard can put a ball in a hoop. Now I have a big mouth. I admit it. But when I see somebody like him open up the show with people being negative towards him, it makes me pissed off. He's there to do his job. He loves his wife. He's probably the face of STO. People say Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, and he said it basically on the show today. Number 1 is Indian baseball. Number 2 is all bets are off. I love you, Bruce. You You are probably one of the best people in this industry. I mean, you're a marketing agent, and just hold on. Pull this out just for you. Bruce, when you came to Toledo, you and I sat and talked. I talked about sports broadcasting and how I want to go into it. You, sir, are probably one of the greatest people in the history that I enjoy. You tell it like it is, and someday I'm going to sit next to you and I want to talk to you about your entire career, because you can't script. Like they said, you can't script October. You can script. All bets are off. Because, you know why? Because
I love you, Cleveland.
and I love you, Bruce.